Look at her hair. Oh my god, it's so crazy. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Lake of Voices. We're right back where we left off, with creatures right behind us. The melee is just like, things have gotten real. So let's just jump right back into this. I'm excited. We're gonna survive. Stupid Margaret, still can't stand her. Behind Bemele stands another figure, looming in the darkness. Seeing my face, Bemele grabs the hilt of his sword. He whips around and staggers, swiftly backwards. Several meters away, a crooked, twisted black figure hobbles its way towards us. Some kind of liquid drips off its head, curling around the edges of its face. It almost looks like it's crying. Bemele backs up until he's standing beside me. The figure continues its slow advance, head jerking from one angle to another. It kind of reminds me of that creepy, contorting creature that would just and move so creepily like that in Silent Hill 2, with its arms all stuck together. I guess we're gonna find out. Even look at its legs, it's so bony. What on earth? It's one of them. Yes, Nixi that stumble across bridges, looking for opportunities. The guide is standing next to us. I didn't even notice him approach. The ones that can make it out of the water are generally referred to as prowlers. Awesome name. I had no idea things like that were out here. Is that what Kika saw down the other path? The guide says nothing, instead returning to the front of the party. Margaret watches him pass. Her frustration morphs into nervous optimism when something seems to come into her mind. Well, Nixi aren't slowed down much by swords, but at least light keeps them away, right? Margaret's hand grips her face tight, and desperation bleeds into her voice. I bite the inside of my lip. Direct light will force it to return to the lake. However, it will try to drag the light, or you, down with it before it goes. Instinctively, I reach for the hilt of my sword, despite the fact that it would do little to protect me. The prowler is getting closer, jerking forward, stopping, then resuming its slow advance. Okay, does anyone have a light we can leave here? That way it won't follow us? Only matches. A lot of good that'll do. Bemele spits. He's the one bringing up the rear, so he's the one most likely to be in danger if it keeps following. The guide, however, moves forward. Don't forget it's there. Don't let your guard down. And don't get left behind. What, do you just want us to leave it there? Can't we just push it or something? Jeez. What? How am I supposed to keep walking with this thing on my heel? See, he totally gets it. You said it wants to attack. Don't give it the chance. Bemele sputters in anger, and the guide summarily ignores him. I solidly grab hold of Bemele's upper arm. Here, I'll lead you like this, and you can keep your focus solely on the prowler. Make sure it doesn't get too close. Bemele's eyes the guide with unresolved hostility, but allows himself to softly sigh in relief. He gazes at me with fondness. At least there's someone I can count on. Despite the fact I'm going against his advice, the guide says nothing more. It's clear now that he doesn't give a damn what we end up doing. Some part of me is glad for that. I want to help everyone make it through, and it would be worse to have to persuade the guide every time help is necessary. Kika, thank you. Bemele places a gentle hand on my shoulder. Ooh, love is in the air, and a horrible monstrosity. Place my hand over his. Why not? A little love always does great things in the middle of tragedy and horrible situations like this. I feel Bemele start as I reciprocate his touch, but just as quickly a smile replaces his shock. He's blushing, that's so cute. The moment is pleasant, a small bomb against a large burn. I harden my expression, and Bemele follows suit. He moves his free arm down. Oh, erotic. I fully link his arm with mine, and now properly settled, look forward. Margaret is following the guide with some reluctance, turning back every so often to check on us. I wave my lantern to signal we're catching up. Margaret returns her head to the front and quickens her pace. With a tug on Bemele, we start to follow them. Oh. His footsteps sounded like someone was crunching on a cracker in my brain. The four of us continue cautiously over the bridges. Only this time, the wet, squishing footsteps of the prowler join the sound of our own. Oh, that's what that was. In spite of myself, I gripped Bemele tighter. The prowler walks without a set pattern, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. It takes long steps, then short ones. At times, it stops walking entirely. Does it hurt to be out of the water like this? Or is it trying to be difficult to read? Suddenly, the whispering in the lake grows louder. I steel myself, trying to not let it get to me. The most important thing in a situation like this is to remain calm. I can't lose my head. Then all at once, I notice the guy and Margaret have come to a halt.
Emily, they're stopping.
Uh-oh. We're gonna save it, just in case. This is the part where Margaret trips on a rock or something and everything just goes terribly wrong. Bemele slows down as I do, and as we near Margaret's back, she says something with akin to distress.
There's another one.
Oh. Wow, we do not have enough matches. I tug on Bemele, and he understands. We draw up close to Margaret, ready to protect her if need be, but the guide holds out a hand.
Don't get any closer.
Just over his shoulder, I see another prowler stumbling towards us, white liquid dripping from its eyes. The guide's hand turns over in the air, palm up.
Give me a lantern. We'll throw it.
Oh. Don't we need those? This guy, I really don't trust this guy. Margaret extends her own with a trembling hand when Bemele speaks instead, his back still turned.
If you have to take someone's, take mine.
Yes, an extra light won't do us much good when we're standing this close together.
It's true. Margaret takes Bemele's lantern from him. Guarded relief displayed her features.
Thank you.
Of course, she just like, oh, thanks, I'm gonna be alright. She's so selfish. I can't stand her. She hands the lantern to the guide, whose hand grips it tightly, knuckles growing pale.
Stay here. I can't throw it too far. The light will blow out before it reaches the Nix.
That would suck. Just a complete waste of a lantern. Jeez. He steps closer to the monster, his movements light and confident. As he nears, the prowler starts to back away. Is it only the approaching light that's making it retreat? Or are they afraid of him? You see? There's more to him than meets the eye. The guide is far enough away from us that the fog is partially obscuring him, hiding his movements. The voices from the lake grow louder and louder. Water suddenly begins to splash across the lake, in the distance and onto the edges of the bridge. They want him to mess up. I don't notice how tense I am until Bemele eases my grasp on his arm. Then suddenly the guide takes multiple long and fast strides forward, throws the lantern, and jumps backwards to regain the lost distance. There's a sharp hiss and then a deep splash, and the voice of the Nixi grow quieter. Not silent, but quieter. Awesome. If we run into 3 more, we're pretty much screwed because we don't have that many lanterns. A sigh escapes me and the guide comes back to our group. We should keep going before it comes back. I glance at Bemele and realize he too is looking relieved at the guide before us. And then I see it. Ugh. We're always seeing things. This is going so horribly. Oh, Jesus. The first prowler, it's still there. It's right there. Literally in my face. Jeez. I just want to say that, by the way, this would be an awesome cosplay. Can you imagine walking into a dark room and be like, hey guys, got my glow-in-the-dark contacts going on. Pull Bemele forward, yeah. I shift around, pulling Bemele behind me. The prowler lunges after him, barely missing Bemele, striking my lantern instead. The fire goes out, and the 2 of us are plunged into an unearthly darkness. Oh, man. Then there's a thick splash. I realize the Nixi have retreated into the water. Somehow, Bemele and I are still standing. We're still here. Kika, thank you. I can't let you die. You're my favorite. You're awesome. I can't respond. Oh my god. Something cold, wet, and slimy has grabbed my ankle. It's Margaret! Margaret's grabbed my ankle! Oh my god, kick it off. Yes! I kick my leg out as fast as I can and the Nix's hold slips. I can't pull with the momentum I've gained against it. Margaret rushes to my side, her lantern hanging out towards the Nix. Where is the guide in all this? The light brushes his face. We see it for an instant, its eyes wide, and then it slides back into the smooth surface of the water. Bemele grabs Margaret and I both, helping us toward the center of the bridge, and cussing under his breath. I only looked away for 1 second. It's fine, Bemele. We're all fine. Are you actually alright? Margaret cocks her head down, examining my ankle, but there's nothing but a wet smudge around my trousers. I am fine. I say that, though I don't actually want to let go of Bemele. I need to, in order to relight our lantern and provide us actual safety. But I feel a strong desire not to be alone in this moment. Yeah, that would terrify me too. There would be so much poop just everywhere. I would be terrified. I shake my head roughly and I let go of him, relighting the lantern as fast as I'm able. Kika, thank you again. You saved my life. I won't let this happen again. Yes, it would be good for all of us to pay more attention. In other words, you screwed up, don't do it again, you bastard, I almost died. Margaret nods solemnly. Suddenly, it seems like we're all on the same side. It isn't only Bemele and I. She is with us in more than simple presence. The guide's voice, as cold as that monster's grasp, ends my train of thought. We lost the lantern I threw. Nix grabbed it after the light went out. Well, yeah, I could have told you that. Where were you? Now you show up. We needed you like 3 seconds ago. Margaret makes a noise. I glance over, wondering whether she's upset, but there's a small smile on her face instead. It's better than them taking anyone else. A nervous laugh bubbles up out of me, and just as quickly stops. Bemele chuckles in response, and our collective tension eases up, the adrenaline draining from our bodies. We need to keep walking. The guide starts down the bridge again, and we join him. I tried to clamp down on the relief, the ease that wants to flow my head. It's not over. The prowler is gone, but so is Bemele's lantern. That sucks. You can stay near me, Bemele, since your lantern is lost. I appreciate it. Margaret goes on ahead. Bemele stays by my side as I keep at the end of the line. The breath of release from Margaret and Bemele is quickly swallowed by the somber atmosphere of Sinlos as well, replaced by the gravity of the near-death experience. Never mind celebrating his survival. Something like that should have never happened in the first place. The memory of the prowlers reaching out towards us appears each time I close my eyes. Yeah, terrible. Why does it look like something's dripping down their faces? The prowlers are in Margaret's mind, looking at her pained expression. It's as though the moment of relief never existed at all. I'm not sure. Me neither. Something's wrong with them, though. They live in water. Air shouldn't be good for the things, but they want to drown humans so much they're willing to drag themselves around on land. It's not right. Of course it isn't. They are monsters. They likely do not understand even the concept of right and wrong. Well, I don't disagree that there's something very wrong about them. I truly, truly hope that that's the last we'll see of the prowlers. It never is. There's always billions more. Since you two share a light, wouldn't it be safer to be in the middle? Margaret has stopped and is waiting for Bemele and I to reach her spot. Excuse me. That way you'll catch the edges of my light and the guide's. It won't be so dangerous if Bemele loses his position momentarily. That's a very kind offer, Margaret. Finally, a good side out of Margaret. Bemele's surprise is so apparent. I want to cover his face with my hands to stop him from insulting her. She merely smirks. I think Margaret may be surprised with herself, too. I can be nice sometimes. Bemele returns to his usual surety. Strange word. As thoughtful as it is, at least I'm fine with bringing up the rear. I'm used to keeping watch for monsters, and since there are two of us, I can pay attention to the back while Kika focuses ahead. It's not my light, though, so I shouldn't be the one to decide what we should do with it. Margaret and Bemele turn to look at me in unison. Seems like it's my decision. Neither of them are wrong. As for me, my goal is to protect everyone. We can't very well do that with Margaret following behind us. But being stuck in the middle of the group could also be dangerous, depending on what circumstances we come across. Getting pincered by the enemy would be an almost sure death, no matter how experienced Bemele and I are. I just don't know what to expect from this bridge, and that makes things so much more difficult. What we're doing is working, so I'm going to keep it going. So you're staying behind? Seems like it. Yeah, I think we'll be good here. But really, thank you. That was a very kind offer. Well, alright. Margaret respects our decision and trots ahead a bit to catch up with the guide. He who has paid no mind to the entire affair, of course. I don't know, I'm telling you, there's something going on with him. Oh my god, the music got quiet for like a minute. I'm like, oh, that's it, he's dead, I know it, he's dead.
So, I don't want to sound like a child, but how much longer until we arrive at the halfway point?
Margaret chuckles, reflecting the amusement I don't want to vocalize.
We still have some ways to go.
Damn.
Getting tired already. I don't blame you. I suppress my laughter yet again. The gloom we've been under dissipates slightly, like light flickering through the fog.
The first trial tends to be the most difficult. I believe we will only react better from this point on.
We are going to do great, Margaret.
I like the way you think.
Such positivity. We got this. Then a gleam enters Bamele's eyes, and he grins.
I think Kika deserves a round of applause. Her quick reflexes are owed the utmost appreciation.
Wouldn't it be funny if they were just surrounded during this little joyous occasion they got going on? Just billions of Nixis everywhere. He leans softly into my shoulder, trying to get me to... What?
It was indeed a sight. You're quite capable. Bemele was also a sight, but for very different reasons. The way he froze with his mouth all agape was a laugh in itself.
Wow. You gotta love the enthusiasm that she has all of a sudden. Bamele shakes a fist at Margaret in mock anger. Then shoots me an affectionate look.
You should know, she and I are usually on equal footing.
The only reason you had footing at all is because she pulled you back.
She is super British, like super British. Bamele laughs self-consciously, scratching his head.
That's very true. You can always count on Kika.
I keep my eyes steadily ahead, unsure how I should respond. I'm pleased, almost grateful, to hear what they think of me. But I don't know what I could say that wouldn't seem pathetic. Instead, I contribute the best way I can. I keep my focus on the path ahead of us. Without a response from me, the conversation quickly dies out. Still, it eases my heart to be on such friendly terms with my companions. After some time, I notice Margaret isn't keeping up with the guide as much as she was before. She's getting tired. I realize it's because the guide has increased his pace. He's either trying to get away from us or he's trying to rush us through. Either way, it's not going to be good. Margaret begins to jog in an effort to keep up with him, and Bamele and I do the same. Despite this, the guide keeps getting further away. They go faster and faster until suddenly we're full sprinting across the slick wooden boards. Figures in the dark fly past us at a blur, and it occurs to me the branching paths on the bridge appear to be sinking. Oh my god, it's sinking. This isn't going to end well. I try hard to swallow my rising panic. Yeah! The guide shouts something, but it's drowned out by the frantic pounding of our footsteps. I'm trying to piece together what he said. Don't stop. Turn? When he takes a masterfully sharp right turn a different path, using his own momentum, and the sleek wood to slide to the new direction with no loss of speed. Margaret must not have worked out the warning either, as she is completely caught off guard by the guide's change in course. She runs straight ahead, past the turn, and continues down the path we've been following up until now. She clumsily begins to halt her momentum down the wrong bridge. Oh man, Margaret, you were doing so great. You're gonna kill us all. Then I come upon the fork. Oh, screw it. I make a hard turn, following the guide and leaving Margaret at the rear. Oh man, Margaret's dead. She's gone. Bamele's footsteps stay as loud as they were before. He's made the turn, as close behind me as ever. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Margaret turn around to try to come back to us, only to have the bridge in front of her fall away. Yep, she's dead. I slow down for a breath, feeling the impulse to turn back but ignore it. There's no time. Margaret can make the jump and then she'll rejoin us. She is not going to be happy with us after this. I keep my eyes glued to the guide's back, ears perked for Margaret's footsteps approaching behind us. And then I hear it. Oh man. I'm just going to say it's either going to be a Nixi or Margaret's scream. Let's see what it is. A screen. There you go. Damn. I feel bad now. I whip around, sliding to a stop. Margaret is sinking. The bridge she's on is sinking into the water. She's disappearing. She didn't jump. What are you doing? Margaret's head shoots up, her face drained of all color. Jump! She stumbles near the edge of the bridge, staring at the placid water of the lake. Even from a distance, I can hear her shaking. I can't say if it's from the bridge's descent or her own fear. She barely seems to remain standing. I swallow painfully. Oh, that didn't sound good. Margaret bends and tries to jump. She curves in a small arc, achieving more height than she should. Lands directly in the lake with a muted splash. Oh my god. Melis, look at her hair! Look at her hair! Oh my god, it's so crazy. Melly starts behind me, but I grab his hand and pull. We start running again, leaving Margaret flailing in the water behind us. We don't need to watch this. We both know exactly what will happen to her now. Margaret's anguished cries pierce the night. Then the screaming stops. Wow. That's super bogus. Jeez. My legs grow weak. It isn't right, but I push myself to keep going. Why did we turn, man? Romelli curses between heavy breaths, calling those things every foul name in his large book. I try to focus on the pounding of my feet, but my brain won't cooperate. Instead, I imagine Margaret's terror. She's clawed to pieces by the Nixi. After everything, I didn't help her. We left her in the dark. As the night wears on, our strength rapidly fades. How much longer will this last? People have to rest sometime. Almost as if in response to my thought, the guide abruptly halts. I skid to a stop as well, sliding on the surface of the wood. Why did we stop? Amelie's voice is tired, but his guard is up. The guide doesn't answer, just stares at something slightly out of view. I step up to join him, following his gaze further down the path. Oh, jeez. They are curled up in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, cowers a person. His hand grips his head, and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently. It's a man. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. Please, I'm sorry. This game is just full of surprises. Man, I feel bad we lost Margaret. I mean, I couldn't stand her, but still, that's a terrible way to go. I think this is a great place to stop. My god, you guys. The further we go across this bridge, the crazier it gets. The frickin' guide is of no help whatsoever. I don't know why we took him with us. We literally could have just figured this out on our own and we would have been still alive. We would have been fine. I don't know. He's no help. But hey, you guys, you know what? I'm enjoying this game. This is crazy. This is so crazy. I'm never going to cross the bridge again. I'm just going to say that. I want to know, what do you guys think so far? Do you think we should have made that turn? Do you think maybe we could have done something different to save Margaret? I want to know from you in the comments below. Alright, you guys. Hey, it's been fun. Like I said, like I always say, I post videos every day. It's been lots of fun. Alright, you guys. This is Richard with Everlasting Gaming. And as always, have a good night.